Hello viewers. This video is about the cell membrane. The cell membrane or plasma membrane which envelope the cell is a thin, pliable, elastic structure which is only 7.5 to 10 nanometer thick lipid bilayer. The polar head group is hydrophilic and the hydrophobic tail end is made up of fatty acids. The lipid layer in the middle of the membrane is impermeable to the usual water-soluble substances, like ions, glucose, and urea. Conversely, fat-soluble substances, such as oxygen, carbon dioxide, and alcohol, can penetrate this portion of the membrane with ease. The approximate composition of cell membrane is 55% proteins, 25% phospholipids, 13% cholesterol, 4% other lipids, and 3% carbohydrates. As I told that the membrane is composed of lipids and proteins. Phospholipids are the most common membrane lipid type. The dominant phospholipids includes phosphatidylserine, phosphatidylethanolamine, phosphatidylcholine, phosphatidylinositol, phosphatidylglycerol. The next most common lipid is cholesterol. The cholesterol is situated between adjacent phospholipids. The four steroid carbon ring make it relatively inflexible, so adding cholesterol to a membrane reduces its fluidity and makes it stronger and more rigid. The outer portion of membrane contains glycolipids. The glycolipids create a carbohydrate cell coat that is involved in cell-to-cell interaction and that conveys antigenicity. The next constituent is the proteins. The membrane proteins are of two types, the peripheral proteins and the integral proteins. The intracellular proteins are located on the intracellular surface, which includes many enzymes. Regulatory subunits of ion channels, receptors and transporters and proteins involved in vesicle trafficking and membrane fusion. The extracellular proteins are located on the extracellular surface, includes enzymes, antigens and adhesion molecules. Some are anchored with the glycophosphatidylnositol. The integral membrane proteins penetrates the lipid core. These are ion channels or pores, transporter or carrier protein and receptors. Integral membrane proteins can also serve as receptors for water-soluble chemicals, such as peptide hormones, that do not easily penetrate the cell membrane. Dear viewer, this is all about cell membrane. Thanks for watching.